don't get greedy in this whole process, and you do things for the right reasons that you're doing. And then I think it's like ethical business, right? It's like a responsible business that you're doing. That people, you're doing good things. You should definitely earn money and create employment jobs for people, but do it the right way. So I think that is what is missing in corporate India today. So really, I think the power of stories is really, if you can, the person who's not able to do it, if he hears a story of inspiration, a story that will make him think or her think that it's possible, I would think you can change organizations. So I think that's the power of storytelling. It builds a beautiful bond, a relationship where you can two strangers can just share anything between each other through stories.
It was never a profession. So I thought, okay, let me start writing. And I just picked up the phone, and then I thought, what should I write? So I thought, okay, let me just write all my failure stories. That'll be fun. So I went and I tried on Facebook. It didn't work. It was just horrible. It was. Then I realized, okay, maybe some other platform I should try. Then I started writing on LinkedIn, and I think I just started writing, and I also started to enjoy the experience of writing. And it was fun to kind of do something that you really like to do and love to do. And then I figured this very interesting thing later on called dots, which is do one thing surely. Now, most of us can do one thing for an hour at least. My attention span was very little, and then maybe you can do one thing for a day. But after that, when you cross that week, doing one thing for a week, the FOMO starts to get in. But that's where the competition really ends. So I started to write maybe a couple of hours a day, increased it to 7 8 hours, and then after 15 odd days, or I think a month or so, I was writing some 15 hours a day. And I became this strange person who was just sitting and trying to and writing. I just became a writer. And then one day I just looked up, and I counted the views that I was getting. And I realized I was after a couple of maybe 2 3 months, I was clocking 2 or 3 million views a month. And that's when I realized that storytelling is so powerful, because actually I was just writing my failure stories. And I just continued writing. I used to give up very easily, but then this whole phase taught me to just keep going and keep doing stuff. And I just continued writing, and some of my stories did really well, and people started to write their stories to me. And slowly, from writer, I became somebody commented on my post saying that you are a good storyteller. So then I realized maybe this is storytelling. So I changed my profile on LinkedIn and made it storyteller. But stories is something which will always remain fresh. And I'm going to share with you a few things around storytelling. And in terms of storytelling, a few years back, I started off my own company, and I started to sell a product. And the moment I went to the market, I realized that the product was fine, but I didn't have a story to tell. I think it also starts from you. What is your story? And then it moves on to your company, your organization, and then it really moves on to the product that you're trying to sell.
My intent was very, very good. I really wanted to make a difference in the life of these rabbits. But my impact was horrible, right? Because I was just doing, something which was not, acceptable to them. And that helped me a lot in my own journey as an entrepreneur, because sometimes, you want to do good things, but, it doesn't land well.